It's time for Coach's Comments, being brought to you by Southside Auto Tech after the Stars pick up what felt like a playoff game here tonight, Rocky. I think, is it fair to say that? That was a playoff feeling game to it as you guys got the 3-2 win here tonight. This was a game that it was a little different from last night, to say the least. A one-goal triumph. You came into this week saying you had to get 4 points, and you did exactly that. How crucial was that to get these 4 points, and what did you guys do specifically to get that done this weekend?
Well, that's the two best teams in the USHL squaring off right there. And the difference is we get to do it at home with the best fans in the USHL here in the Icebox. And every time we get to play in front of these fans, we don't take it for granted. We know how important that is. And we knew tonight was going to be a big-time challenge. They got beat handily last night, and they have a great club and a great staff, and they weren't gonna roll over. And I thought our resolve today in certain situations when we weren't playing really well was great. You know, we battled through some adversity. We had some tough times. Penalty kill was outstanding. Power play comes big time again this weekend, and that's definitely a playoff-style hockey game. And finding a way to come back, you give a goal up, and the first power play unit, big extended shift there, and Tony doesn't get a point on that goal, but it doesn't go in if he doesn't keep it in, right, on the first one. And then the second one, obviously big shot there by him and a deflection by Doug, and then Cameron stands up, makes some saves. Guys are blocking pucks, they're sacrificing, they're laying it all out on the line, and you see signs of us taking the next step as a group, which is really exciting to see.
The details, especially, I felt like those were such a strong suit this weekend in general for the Stars. What did it take to get everyone to pretty much get to that? You said you guys had to decide to play the way you wanted last night. It seemed like that happened again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we know that you can't play loose against anybody in this league, right? You have to manage pucks. You have to turn the D. You have to extend your possessions by winning races to lose pucks, and we did that. And then in the third period, up a goal with 6 minutes or so left, our forwards knew, hey, stick to the wall. We've got to make sure that their D are turning their feet consistently. We've got to get a great forecheck. We've got to make sure F2 and F3 are above their wingers, so we're not giving up any line rushes. And then when we needed a save, Cameron was back there to do it.
Tonight was the third time in the last 4 games in which you guys scored 2 power play goals in a game. What has been the difference for this team on the ice? It's certainly, you got to figure having Doug Grimes back has certainly helped. But what has been the difference for the team the last few games on the power play?
It's having Doug and having Tanner. Like, it's those guys, that's the unit, right? That was our unit at the beginning of the year with Tony and Bucks and those three. And Doug was out for a long time. Tanner was gone, and we were kind of patchworking a couple units. Clav still isn't back. He'll be back next weekend, but he'll bolster that second unit for sure. CR was out this evening, so but that first unit, they're confident and they're patient, they're poised. They extended a lot of their opportunities by doing a great job along the blue line with Bucks and Tony, and they didn't panic, right? Early on in the year, even a month or 6 weeks ago, they would panic under those circumstances, and they didn't do that tonight. They were just patient. They knew where their puck support was at. We've spent a lot of time working on that, so they know, and it's not, you don't have to hold it an extra second. You know where your teammate's going to be to get a puck and relieve pressure, and they just relied on each other, and they made a couple huge plays, and that was the difference in the game.
He had 2 points last night, 3 here tonight. We talked about his work on the power play. Just how nice has it been having Doug Grimes back overall?
He's a difference maker with his size, his physicality, his ability to extend his possessions and box guys out, and he's a leader in the room. He's a leader on the bench. I know Marcy wears the C and Doug's an A, but Doug has a lot of C qualities, and when we voted for captains, that was a really close vote, and Marcy, I think I only beat him by maybe 2 votes. So Doug is comfortable in a leadership role, and he's willing to back it up with his effort.
4 points back of Fargo.
With a game in hand, by the way.
Yes, with a game in hand. You take on Tri-City next weekend. What do you guys have to keep doing to chip away at this deficit?
Oh, we're going to ramp it up. We know we got big games next weekend against Tri-City. They beat us on New Year's Eve, and there's a chip on our shoulder for that. I can promise you that. And we're going to have a great week of practice. We're going to be ready to play on Friday.
Rocky, thanks for joining us, and we will talk to you next weekend.
Thanks, Joel.